Okay, hello again. This is Kirby from Grace Counseling Center. Welcome to our fourth video on the marriage and relationship series. This is marriage four. For now, I feel like entitling this as leadership and initiative. Now, why is this? This one is a continuation from marriage three, where we dished on the dominance of the female spirit. Now, we have nothing against strong, dominant females. We're just simply showing everyone that it doesn't blend well with the biblical model of marriage. Once the female becomes overpowering and overbearing, and it presses down the leadership role of men. So, what usually happens in therapy is the women come in there, the strong boss type of women come in there, and they complain about my husband needs to step up. My husband needs to show more leadership. He needs to be more involved. And on video 3 of this series, we showed why guys channel out. Because in a summary, Asian men, no, men or the one I observe the most are the Asian men, particularly the Singapore cohort, right? Who don't want, who are not raised to communicate in the mid range of the communication spectrum. So we either attack, fight or flight. We have a choice to disconnect, channel out, preserve the peace, or we spike up and give hell and high waters to the relationship, right? So we see it as confrontation. So if you speak to your boyfriends or to your brothers or any masculine spirit out there, you would see that the word confrontation is not a good word. It's either war or I keep quiet. So I have an inkling for the female mind when they say confrontation. That what they mean is discussion. What they mean is a bit of communication. So that's it is for marriage three. So it's also part of the guy's responsibility to learn to dwell in the grayness of the communication process. So not simply to disconnect, preserve the peace, or to explode and win the battle. So for females, it's more of a process-based form of communication. They enjoy the process. It's a table tennis game, and they want to prolong the bouncing of the ball. For the guys, you want to win, you win. Either I win or you win. You want to win, I give it to you. Right? So either that or I win. For the females, it's hey, let me enjoy the volley, the return of the ball, to receive the serve, to bounce it back to you. So it's more or less this way. So every time the females, I'm not saying everyone who does this is a dominant spirit, which is a no-no and stuff, but every time the females open up the communication line, the guys in our scripts, we see this as, hey, time for a new match. There's a battle coming up. And most of us guys are tired of this. I just want to work. I just want to provide the two-piece of husbandry in the Asian realm. Provide and preserve the peace. PPP. Provide, preserve the peace. Provide, preserve the peace. So when we see our wives rolling up her sleeves, say, I'm out. Whatever you wish. Your wish is my command. Just do what you will. Then it will come out to the wife or to the girlfriend as he doesn't really care. He's disconnecting once again. He's channeling out. He doesn't care. He doesn't love me, or those interpretations. So this one creates that rift in the communication process, and it creates that wedge in the relationship, right? So the time will come where we prefer to speak to our friends, even speak to our parents, speak to our family, than to speak to our spouse, which is not good. So back to Christian counseling, in marriage, Christian marriage counseling, and at this point, I want to create a disclaimer, just to explain a bit on why it's so special to emphasize that this is Christian counseling, because as you notice, right, these video series, we're kinda, it's not really that we're imposing. We're not here to impose any of the doctrines or any of the cultures. We're, as far as I see it, we are here to unfold or to interpret God's instruction book to the people who need it. There, yeah. Why? Because sola scriptura, right? We believe that God's instruction book, the Creator, is the one who gets to say what is right and what is wrong. He is the King of righteousness. It's not for us to say that, well, we have in marriage therapy, right? We have the Satir models, we have the Gottman models and stuff. As good as they may sound, as good as they are, they are proper systems of marriage therapy. They are good guides, yet they are still human made. So we fall back to God's word. So when they roll out marriage 3 or marriage 4 on this time, we're not here to demonize females who are strong. We're not here to shame guys who don't communicate or who appear weak when it comes to their wives. Gabo, right? Scared wife phenomenon. We're not here to shame all of those. We're simply saying that, hey, wake up, man. Your life can be more effective. Your marriage can be a lot more happier. This is God's way. So again, by all means, if there is a matriarchal, the matriarchal structure of the marriage or even of the family, I'm not saying that it's wrong. It's a sin. Don't do this. Well, what I'm simply saying is, if there is a strong female spirit that it emasculates the husband of the family, number one, I would say don't be surprised if the guy disconnects, if the husband of the house disconnects and channels out. What he's simply doing is he's moving away from a fight. And on a certain angle, it is a good thing to just move away the fight and give the glory to their wives. But this is not the Lord's model. Another thing I want to explain there about why we follow the Christian models is that from a strong female spirit, you will see naturally guys will gravitate towards females who will give them the honor, the glory, and the respect of being the leader. So you know where this is headed, right? So again, we deal with a lot of cases of affairs. We deal a lot of cases of even adultery. I plan to unfold more videos about this. It's just that it's too heavy for now because people really break down in front of adultery. The victims, yeah. But it does happen because one party of the marital unit is pushed away and they're forced to satisfy their emotional needs, even physical needs, through other channels. So again, the Lord's way is what we call wisdom. This is the wise way, and as such, I will share certain biblical instructions, and let's process it. And I have a few more minutes to do it. I digress. Sorry for that. So back to this one, we have the biblical support. I'm going to mention it here. We are more high-tech now. I've learned to edit some videos, so it will appear here. I will be basing it on Ephesians 5, 1 Peter 3, and of course, my favorite, Joshua 1:13, and you'll be surprised why I'm using this. So in the first place, I will be giving out the biblical basis on why the guy has to lead. The husband has to lead in the marital unit. So I will try to read out, and of course, we'll place it up here, New King James Version. Ephesians 5:25 to 26. So hear this one. Husbands, love your wives, just as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for her. This one will give us a clue on people who would say, what does it mean to love the wife? What does it mean to love the wife? This is a good clue. Just as Christ also loved the church and gave himself for her, that he may sanctify and cleanse her with the washing of water by the word. So the husband ought to be the spiritual leader of the family. So it's supposed to be the husband kicking everyone up on a Saturday or a Sunday morning to move them to church. So next verse I'm gonna pick on is the most hated verse by women, because husbands keep citing 1 Peter 3. 1 Peter 3 is about the wives submit, and rightly so. This is what the creator, the instruction books say. But there's 1 Peter 3:7. Your husbands have been keeping this from you. Husbands, likewise, dwell with them, with the wives. Dwell with the wives with understanding, giving honor to the wife. What does this mean, man? Giving honor to the wife as to the weaker vessel. By default, they will be perceived as the weaker vessel. We talked about this in Marriage 3 about the damsel in distress and the Prince Charming archetypes. Where am I? Giving honor to the wife as to the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers may not be hindered. Another spiritual connection between husband and wives and the leadership of the husband. Now, I want to end by expounding an exposition on Joshua 1:13-14. So this one is the image of husband, how the father of the house, how the husbands, how the masculine spirit ought to be operating when it comes to the family. I'm citing, I hope it comes out here, Joshua 1:13, verse 13-14. Okay, so let me read it out. Remember the word. So this one is probably Joshua, either Joshua or Moses telling the people, remember the word which Moses, so it's General Joshua telling the Israelites, remember the word which Moses, the servant of the Lord, commanded to you, saying, the Lord your God is giving you rest and is giving you this land. So they have acquired a part of the promised land already. The Lord your God is giving you rest and is giving you this land. Now, what should they do? Right? So this one is the instruction for the book. Your wives, your little ones, and your livestock shall remain in the land which Moses gave you on this side of the Jordan. But you, fathers, husbands, champions in the family unit, but you shall pass before your brethren armed, all your mighty men of valor, and help them. So what does this mean? So this is a time where Israel was slowly acquiring the promised land. It's a huge land for the 12 tribes, and there were some lands conquered by the Israelites. So they got their lands. And now Joshua is telling them, the wives and the children, you can now relax. Claim the land, the house that the Lord gave each one of you, but the husbands will carry on the war. Why? Because their fellow brothers are still acquiring the other lands. They're still at war. So I see this as an image of who the father is in the family, who the husband is in the marital unit, right? So the wives, pardon the concept, the housewives, the wives stay at home, relax and enjoy life, while it's the guy who's out there fighting for life, helping their brothers, helping other people, grinding from 9 to 9 p.m., earning for the family. So more or less, this is the leader of the house. So again, some of you would say, are you against the wife earning more than the husband? We will talk about this in the future. That doesn't mean the wife earning more than the husband doesn't necessarily mean that the wife is the leader or the breadwinner of the family. Actually, no, it doesn't automatically mean this way. So for us guys, we are more or less bred to back out in any fight, which is the opposite of what the Bible say. Right? From the very beginning, we were raised by Asian parents. We went to the schools, and all of us, mouths were shut. We cannot talk back. We cannot explain things. We're just there, keep quiet, passive listener, nodding our heads. Then after this, we went to army. All the more, we were trained to shut our mouths. Then suddenly, you throw me to the family life and tell me to be the leader. So there's a lot of growing up to do in spirit. And first, for today, we're giving you the spiritual attitude that you have the right. No, it's your duty. It's your responsibility to step up and protect the family. So this is the first thing. When you say in Ephesians 5 and 1 Peter 3, 1 Peter chapter 3, right? Where you find wives submit to your husbands, you will find there the verse, husbands, love your wife. And this is what I will unpack, then we will leave it for now for future videos. And when you say love your wives, what does that mean? First, I want to distinguish this from submit. Submit to your husbands is a passive role. And you'll see this, it's not an evolutionary study about the hunter gatherer framework of males and females. It's not just that. Biblically speaking, they are saying, no, they are saying in the Bible that it's the wives who are passive to submit. You react to your husbands. Husbands love the wives. It's an active role. So it's your job to lead, whatever that means, right? To lead, to take initiative, to be involved in family matters. So I keep telling people it's a hard pressure for men, yeah. But if the family is bored, it's the father's fault because we're the ones who are supposed to be leading. I know in the context, especially of Singapore, we are providers, the keepers of peace, and we keep saying, "What else do you want from me? What else do you want from me?" Sadly, the Lord is saying that's not yet love. Providing is not love. To love is to defend the family, to be at war, right? When the family, our job is to help the wife and the children enjoy life while we fight for life. Then celebrate on Father's Day or something, right? But that's the role of the husband. So okay, so what does love mean? I will let you unfold love on your own, but focus on this word. Husbands, love your wives. It's an active role. We're the ones planning on things. We're the ones telling them when to go to church, how to pray, leading the prayer in the evening. I think that's a good way to start. It's to lead the prayer. Lead the prayer of grace before every meal. Lead the prayer of thanksgiving before sleeping. Lead the prayer in the morning, right? Welcome the day star to your life. Yeah. And another thing in my notes here is that the term love connotes to something good. So for me, I just interpret this as to defend the wife, to defend the family, and of course, okay, image of. Oh, okay. By the way, yeah, to start catering to the needs of your family, especially of the wife. This is, after all, a marriage, a marriage video, and be sensitive to. I think I need to make a part two for this one, but to be sensitive to the needs of the wife, right? Because the last thing that the wives do not want to hear, for example, or the last thing that the wives do not want to see, are husbands telling the wife, "What do you want? I will do it for you. What do you want? What do you want?" Because for some reason, the females expect us to know their needs. It's simply a sign of a lack of involvement, and most of the time they will misinterpret that as a lack of care. You don't really care. If you care about me like you did during courtship, I wouldn't have to tell you what you need to do, man, right? So let's say, for example, we cannot come to our wives and say, "What do you want on your birthday? Would you want a cake?" Okay, so again, this is what they mean by initiative, right? Without their permission or without them asking for it, don't there's a whole like, just do it for them. Yeah, again, make it look like it's your idea. And this is what they mean by initiative. You initiate, not them. Because if they initiate, "Hey, can you buy me a birthday cake for my birthday?" Then you buy a birthday cake for her. Yeah, it's good that you're providing and you're giving, but it's not points for initiative. So do things for them by knowing, by a response to their psychological needs. So again, I think I have to roll out another video on this one, on the gray communication of men, and at the same time, picking up signals on the psychological needs of the spouse, not just for the wives, psychological needs. So for now, check out the psychological needs in a raw fashion, right? Maybe it's a need for attention, need to be listened to, a need for a massage, a need to be treated out, a need for flowers. Could be anything, right? Then don't ask, lead. So again, so for today, it's simply the attitude of enlightening everyone, enlightening the husbands, that it's not our role to keep giving in to the wives. All right, it's not our role to give in to the wives. We listen to them, yes, but in the end, it's our initiative, it's our decision. Then we cater to their needs. So this one will be translated to love as love. It will be counted to you as love for the wife. and initiative and leadership. So let me pause down here. Sorry for the time, 20 minutes. I'll see you again soon. Okay, God bless everyone in the name of Christ. Bye bye.